NEXTON has seen massive growth since its inception, but they're less than halfway done. So today we're talking with an expert about where they came from, where they are, and what these up to next 11 years brings to that community.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. As always, I am Bill Olson, your favorite YouTubing Charleston realtor, and today we're talking all about NEXTON. It was the #1 community in the United States in 2021, and I am joined by a very special guest, Bo. Bo works at the Information Cottage in Midtown NEXTON, and he is the expert on everything that NEXTON has to offer. Bo, welcome to my channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, so let's tell a little bit about you, like how you got into NEXTON, what you do there, and where people can find you if they have any questions.
Sure. So basically, my name is Bo Taylor. I'm the community representative here at NEXTON. Also, as a part of my job, I am the kind of the realtor liaison. So the person that realtors can go to for information, or if they want to bring clients in and kind of provide information about the community. As far as me, I was actually in the fitness business and still kind of am for like the last 25 years, and just decided I wanted something a little bit different. Had a taste of the real estate side of things when I worked at Daniel Allen for quite some time, and then took the job here. I've been here for about 5 years. Like I said, we invite everybody to come in the Information Cottage. We provide an overview of the community, give them a little bit of an idea of all the builders that we have. We have 9 builders, and then kind of funnel people to where, either where they might want to go or what kind of makes sense for them, or just have people visit everybody. I always tell folks you might walk into a model and see a lamp that you like that, may not be the model for you or may not be the floor plan, but you can always take something away.
Awesome, yeah. So, and then your Information Cottage is, I love where it is. It's right there in Midtown, which is there's 5 subsections. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, we have Brighton Park Village, which was our first neighborhood. It's around 700 homes. It is closed out as far as new home construction. So we do have folks that come in here that want to get kind of the overview. And then, of course, we find out that they're maybe looking more for a resale. And then, of course, we explain, get with a realtor as yourself, and they'll be able to show you kind of what's available in there. And then we have the Midtown community where we're located, where we have the 6 builders that were in Brighton Park, and they just kind of brought their show on the road here. Saucy Burbank, Pulte, David Weekley, Homes by Dickerson, Ashton Woods, and New Leaf. And then we also have a Del Webb community that's our 55 and over active adult community. And then we also have the North Creek Village area where we have 2 separate builders that kind of build separate from each other, which is True Homes and Syntex.
Awesome. Yeah, I love where you are. As you know, I did a video, just kind of a brief overview of NEXTON. It's such a cool area where the model homes are, like the painted street. It kind of, it's that atmosphere of what NEXTON is trying to build. If I'm right, if I'm not mistaken, it's
absolutely.
It's more of a lifestyle than a neighborhood, and that model home row at Midtown kind of encompasses all of that with a very neighborly feel, gathering area.
Well, and I think it's great too that it kind of speaks to the walkability that we have here with all the the parks and trails. You're able to walk up and down the street without worrying about a car or anything else. And then we see tons of people, and of course including myself, doing some of the social media here. It's a perfect picture opportunity for, we have the cute little signs that are kind of painted on the street. People love those. Of course, the kid, everybody loves the painted colors. And again, it just kind of speaks to just the walkability and just the ease of lifestyle here.
Yeah. Now, we were kind of talking about the residential a little bit, but it's also a giant mixed use community, and there's
exactly.
Right now there's the commercial side that everyone knows. That's where your big name restaurants are right now.
Sure.
Halls went in there. My favorite, Taco Boy, Pickle Bar, which I think is an interesting concept.
Yep.
But there's also plans for more. Now, I know we can't talk too specifically because you told me we're about 11 years from full completion.
Sure.
But from what you're seeing, and what else are we going to be seeing in there that kind of goes to this walkability that you don't have to really leave NEXTON, and it's a town in itself?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different things. So of course we have downtown Nexon that broke ground. It was a few months ago now that they're doing some clearing. I think first thing that's going to go in there is some more apartment living, but then also there are going to be more shops, restaurants, and those sort of things. It is a third-party developer that's doing that, so that they've kind of kept close to the vest, so to speak, about what's going in. I don't think it'll be anything crazy. I would expect it to be more national, big box type things, as opposed to what you see in Nexon Square, which is more local type shops and things.
I think that'll give a good mix to the community, though,
Yeah.
to have both, because I think people like both, and then
Oh, sure.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah, and then also there are, it's probably, I would say, at least 5 years out, that there will be some retail and commercial space that will be in the Midtown area. And it will be, I would say, would be more community serving retail. So like where a Halls or a Taco Boy, people are coming from other side of Somerville, possibly North Charleston, to go to some of these places, where this will be more things that people within the community will go to, maybe a place to pick up a loaf of bread, or whether there'll be a gas station or anything like that in there, but then possibly like for giggles, a pizza shop or something that people in this community would go to. And the same thing within the North Creek Village area. I think there will continue to be more community serving commercial areas, so that people aren't having to drive all the way to Nexton Square or all the way into Somerville to get something. And that's the whole idea of Nexton, is the live, work, play community. So I mean, you're able to live here. Potentially with more and more commercial, more folks will be able to work within the community. We do have a lot of folks, because we do have Home Telecom does a great job with our digital services, with internet and cable and those sorts of things. So there's tons of people that's where we're seeing a lot of people move, is that they have this ability to work from home, or maybe a hybrid job, so that they're able to do that within the community. We have a lot of office space that's rentable, that's within the community as well, so that could be another option for folks. And then just the play aspect, there's the restaurants, there's the shops, there's the parks, there's all these things, and that we have a Berkeley County Municipal Park that's planned. I would say probably will open sometime early next year. So just another opportunity for the live, work, play idea.
Yeah. Now, there are two really big projects coming. There's a Harris Teeter that does have a projected start date of June 1st, which is shortly after filming this video, but depending on when we release it, it could be shortly before this video. I'm assuming that's just going to be the permitting, but that's in the process. I'm going to be right there on Brighton Park, so you don't really have to go far for a grocery store, and a lot of people would be able to walk or ride a bike there. And then I think what's really cool is that MUSC is also building a 128-bed hospital right there for the community, and to serve not just Nexton but the whole area with King Bay and all of that growth. I think that's going to be an amazing amenity, not just for safety and health, but jobs as well in the community.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning, I think that's a big part of all of this, is so that you do have folks that they don't have to travel to go to work. That's to speak to some of the congestion and things that are in other areas of Charleston. It's not because people just want to Sunday drive all the time. That is that they're having to travel to places that they can, make a wage to work, but they want to be able to live in a certain area. So I think that's going to help out a lot of folks to be able to work in the same area that they live. Mm-hmm. And then we've got one Nexton that's basically right across the street from the Harris Teeter site. And like I said, Harris Teeter is in for permitting. I know that they're working through things. And then Publix has announced that they're going to have a store just across the street. Mm-hmm. And we've been telling folks that basically you'll be able to get your Thanksgiving dinner, not this Thanksgiving, but the next Thanksgiving, at either one of those grocery stores. So,
and that's interesting because that's just like a few miles from the other Publix, in Cane Bay. But I think that speaks volumes to the growth in the area. That,
absolutely.
Two Publix and a Harris Teeter in basically a 5-mile radius are.
Yeah, and that Publix is probably one of the busiest Publix in the country.
Yeah.
So I think to take some of the pressure off that for sure, and again, just giving people more opportunities. And to me, the big win with that is whether you're coming into Nexton or leaving Nexton, you'll have the opportunity to easily stop at a grocery store without having to cross traffic or anything like that. So
Yeah, I think that's going to be great. And I like both. They both, I would stop at both for different things, but and then my wife would wonder why I was 30 minutes late getting home. Well, they have the better produce and they have the better beer selection, so I have to go for both.
Yeah.
But back on the whole like play part, because I think this is really cool and I can't remember what the title is, but it's almost like being on a cruise ship in Midtown, that there's like an event planner that plans things for the community. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and what that all entails?
So we have Chelsea Bailiff, who is the lifestyle director for basically for Brighton Park and Midtown. Brighton Park and Midtown share amenities. So if you live in Brighton Park, you're able to, of course, use the Brighton Park amenities, which is lap style pool, splash pad for kids, open air pavilion, dog parks. I believe they've just finished renovating the greeting house, which we were located in. So that's kind of I guess you would call it like a work-live space that people can go in and utilize, that residents can go in and utilize. And then also, if you live in Midtown, of course, you'll be able to use the Midtown amenity. And then, of course, the Midtown people can use the Brighton Park amenities as well. And the Midtown amenity will be a resort-style pool, fitness center, yoga studio, kind of a similar living workspace that we have at the greeting house. Pickleball, tennis courts, playground. Super nice. The fitness center is amazing. I mean, the whole building is amazing. So I think people are going to be super excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy, like looking at amenities in neighborhoods now, and just even from 5 years ago, like, here's your amenities. It's this little pool and like a hut.
Yeah.
And the bathroom is basically just like a porta potty with like actual walls. And now we're seeing things in neighborhoods like Midtown, where it's a destination. It is a focal point of the neighborhood. And even having your cruise director, your lifestyle director, I think you called her, doing those happy hours. And I think on the website it says like planning golf cart parades and bringing in food trucks, and just creating that sense of community that over the past couple of years with COVID and everything, we kind of lost, because people were like being hermits in their house and like, don't touch me. And now, as we're hopefully on our way out of this, we're getting more of that, and you guys have really embraced that to meet your neighbors and be a part of the community, not just go to work and come home, go to work and come home, go to work and come home.
Yeah, Chelsea's done a good job. I know she's since Midtown is obviously growing, we've started getting more folks here. She started doing we do a food truck Wednesday. I want to say it's like maybe every other Wednesday, and then they have food truck Friday in Brighton Park. I believe every Friday, and they send out newsletters for the residents to keep them up to date on things that are going on, and not to leave out, like, Del Webb's amenity is truly second to none. Like, it's basically a country club without a golf course, and they have a lifestyle director as well. And then also you have the North Creek Village area, where True Homes has their own a very nice pool with a small clubhouse area, and then also the Syntex area. They have a really nice resort style pool, and then also like a small soccer field, half basketball court, those sorts of things as well. And all the amenities, in my opinion, are very affordable. So like the Brighton Park Midtown amenity is around $700 a year. To me, compared to what other ones I've seen, with what you get is phenomenal. You also have the True Homes area of North Creek. They pay just around $600 a year, which isn't bad at all. Again, their pool is very nice, and their clubhouse is very nice as well, kind of that live work space area. Mm-hmm. The Syntax one is around, I would say, $1,100 to $1,200 a year, but that also includes your cable and internet, which 6 here, half dozen there. Like, that's a really great deal. Del Webb is a little bit more expensive. Also, you get what you pay for. You're paying around, I would say, around $255 a month.
Yep.
And then you also pay half of the Brighton Park Midtown amenity. So that's a, $350 a year that you're adding on to that. But the reason they do that is, of course, you're in a 55 and older community. You're going to have folks that have grandkids. They do have restrictions on when kids can be in certain areas at the amenities. So if the kids are down or the grandkids are down for the week during the summer, they want to go to the pool, they can't go to Del Webb, they can go to Midtown or Brighton Park.
And then also with that in the Del Webb, I mean, that it includes so much more for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, they take care of your
and
yard, outside maintenance, and the list goes on. Like I said, their amenity is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
they've got
and
the
they do
indoor pool, the outdoor pool, the
right,
and they're
their lifestyle director does a lot as far as keeping a full calendar, and there's different clubs and groups and that sort of thing. So yeah,
she is basically a cruise director over there. I mean,
yeah.
whereas in Midtown, like, you might have a couple events during the week, like over there, like
Right.
I've toured with clients. I have clients that have bought in there.
Yeah, they keep
And
things pretty hopping.
there is no downtime there. Like,
Right.
if you're bored, there is something to do every waking hour of the day,
Exactly.
which is great.
Yeah.
That it's not just it's an active adult community. It's not
Right,
and they've
exactly.
kind of gone away from that stigma of it's 55 plus. Like, it is,
Yeah.
it is the age restriction, but I love that they've done that, and the homes there
Yeah.
are gorgeous. They're absolutely
Yes, yeah,
gorgeous.
absolutely, yeah. And some of the features that those homes have too that speak to the 55 and older groups, and some of those features they have in other homes as well that aren't 55 and over, but just some of the different drawers that come out from shelving and that sort of thing that make it easier to get to things and those sorts of, and like I said, just being amongst a group of active adults that are your age, you don't necessarily have to worry about kids running in and out of the street, those sorts of things. It's, certainly it's golf cartable, so yeah, it's a great community.
Yeah, and then like you had mentioned, like the fact that they can use the Midtown amenities when grandkids
Right.
come in. I mean, if my parents lived there, like, my kids would not really want to go to that pool, anyways, because it's not catered to them. It is
Right,
It is a
exactly.
very slow, low key pool, but
Right.
bring them over to Midtown when that opens, and it's like
Yeah.
an amusement
Yeah.
park.
Or even like I said, the Brighton Park, the splash pad is super popular at the Brighton Park pool, and it is a lot more gear. It's that kind of atmosphere.
Well, Bo, thank you so much for joining, talking about NEXTON.
Absolutely.
Let people know, how can they get in touch with you if they want more information besides calling me first?
Yeah, sure. So, of course, our website, nexton.com, is full of information. There's actually a section on there that says agents and brokers. You can kind of scroll through that and get to me through there. Of course, you can always reach out through Instagram, Bo Knows Nexton. That would be the one place I can tell everybody that, I may not be checking my emails. I may not, be in the office to catch a phone call, but I'll always check my phone for those Instagram direct messages.
And go give Bo a follow on Instagram. He's a riot, and it's not just like a talking head of this is what NEXTON's about, like Twistin' Tuesdays, and he's always on top of all the trends that are going on, and the way you get the information out to people on your Instagram is phenomenal. Like, I applaud you for it.
Well,
I
thank
love
you.
it. You're up there. You're in the top of my feed every day because I watch your stuff.
For better or for worse,
Because I
right?
watch your stuff all the time, and it's always just an uplifting start to the day, and so thank you. Like, I love what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you've been there for 5 years, and we might see you in 11 years. Maybe
That's
we'll
right.
we'll be doing this video in 11 years from Del Webb together.
By the pool,
Okay,
okay?
at the pool with a cocktail and a coconut, hopefully.
That's right.
All right, but well, thanks so much for joining us. And as always, everybody, if you're looking to sell or buy anywhere in Nexton or the greater Charleston area, I would love to be your realtor resource of choice. I've got a couple other great videos here. Don't forget to check out this one. It is my Nexton tour that I did previously that kind of set up this interview for us. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.